From the minute I booted up Red Dead Redemption, I was floored. This is not my first Rockstar Games rodeo, cowboy pun intended, but it was the first Rockstar game I played that truly felt special. The game sets its mood right off the bat and lets you know this is going to be a much more grounded experience than the likes of Grand Theft Auto, and a much more grounded experience it is. Being set in the Wild West, early 1900s, there aren't any helicopters to jump out of, nor are there any oppressors flying through the sky. In fact, there's barely any crazy weapons. What you're left with instead are some of the most charming and touching characters Rockstar, or dare I say any game studio for that matter, has created. You deal with a literal snake oil salesman, a crazed grave robber, a racist, drug-addicted scientist, a stereotypical gunslinger, a stern sheriff and his dumbass deputies. Are these the most original character archetypes? No, not at all. But because they're such common tropes, especially in Western media, the foundation was set for each of these guys being memorable, which is no small feat in a game with such a large cast. But what's the purpose of this large cast? Well, the opening of the game that I praised not too long ago stars a protagonist, John Marston, arriving off of a boat into a bustling town called Blackwater. You learn that you ran with the long-disbanded Vandalin gang, and you are randomly selected to receive the honor of having your family kidnapped until you can take down the remaining 3 active members. Every person you meet, every mission you undertake, they all serve one purpose, and that's getting John Marston's family back. Now, that's not to say you can't fuck off for a while and get drunk at a bar or help some old dying lady in the desert, which is a problem all Rockstar games have, but ultimately every action John Marston canonically takes is to save his family. And eventually, you get your family back, and everything seems pretty happy. You blow up some crows, you save your farm, but this is late 2000s, early 2010s Rockstar we're talking about here. They toyed with the idea of loss and tragedy in Grand Theft Auto 4 and its DLCs, with a close friend of the protagonist dying in GTA 4, and a longtime friend betraying you in The Lost and the Damned. But Red Dead Redemption goes even further with those concepts. After doing the government's dirty work for them, the same FBI agents who sent you off on your journey come back to treat you like a dog, and leave you to rot. From this point on, you're forced to play as John's son, Jack Marston, following a time skip. To truly end the game, you have to go across the entire game's map as one final hurrah, tracking down the man responsible for your father's death. After one final, honestly, kinda anticlimactic duel, you're left with a contemplative-looking Jack Marston, walking off into the sunset. And a very thought-provoking ending. People often complain about the post-games in Rockstar's various projects, and while I mostly agree, I think it fits here. The story, if you really get into it, was mostly meaningless. You go across multiple countries, meet so many people, all so you can pay back your debt to society and keep your family safe. And you end up getting shot anyways after getting your family back. Will any of these wacky characters I mentioned earlier ever find out the fate of John? Probably not. Did he even get a proper funeral? Also not likely. The fate of Jack is left up in the air too, but whatever the future has in store for him doesn't seem too bright considering his NPC interactions.
You're doing terrible things to my hormones, miss.
So all you're left with is an empty, haunting map to explore once all the side quests are complete. The world is hollow and lonely and kind of meaningless, just like John's story. However, as tragic as John's ending might be, I don't think the story was all too bad. Over the course of the game, you witness a former outlaw, a former violent murderer and thief, working with the fucking government of all things, for what he truly loves in life. His family. No matter what good things he may have done over the course of his journey, he never really faced any punishment for whatever horrors he inflicted with the Vandalin gang. To truly atone for the past, you must accept it, which is what John finally does, likely after realizing if he ran now, he's gonna be on the run forever. His former outlaw buddies certainly didn't expect to get visited by the FBI again, and the gang disbanded years ago, so if they were still on the run, John likely would be too. So his final act is his most undeniably pure and good one yet. He sacrificed himself. And in sacrificing himself, he does what he never did as an outlaw. He saves people, rather than, In the end, after all was said and done, he was red, he was dead, and he was redeemed. This has been Kino in 5 minutes. Feel free to like the video if you enjoyed it, check out my Discord or Patreon if you really enjoyed it, and have a nice night.